Hello and welcome to another Tales from a Professional Nerd. My name is BryanCPSteele and I will be your nerd today and any other day that you watch one of my silly little shows. Alright, so today's going to be kind of a weird one because I am going to do the Week in Bryan after the thumbnail, because I know some of the people that are coming to this video are specifically going to come to want to hear what Sarah has to say, which my guest today is going to be Sarah Moore. We'll talk relatively at length with her about all kinds of cool stuff with her place in the industry, in and around stage acting, movies, the whole nine yards. We're gonna go deep into it. So I wanted to go ahead and jump right in rather than doing the Week in Bryan before the interview clip, just in case of any of you fans that are here specifically watching to see Sarah. You don't have to wait through 20 minutes of me going on about how my last week has been. We'll do that after the clip before we say goodbye for the day. So without further ado, let's go ahead and hop over into the interview. Computer.
It's happening.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, then I'll have to cut the front part of this off. But yes. All right. So 3, 2, 1. All right. Hello, everybody. I mean, you just saw me, but now you get to see this wonderful human being. I'm going to point this way because on my screen you're this direction. I don't know if you will be on the final cut.
Who knows?
Everybody, this is the amazing and wonderful, my friend and a beloved member of the game industry, Sarah Moore.
Hi, friends.
Hello.
Hooray! Oh, I love it when people clap for me, just in general.
We clip it and just be like on a loop.
I really feel like everyone's life would be better if people just clapped for you whenever they introduced you or something,
Or just when nice things happened. You know, you go through the drive-through and it's like
you did it.
It's exactly $6. You know,
man.
None of that rounding up for somebody's charity, like you actually hit it on the point.
That is one of my pet peeves, the rounding up for charity.
Especially because all of them are the in-house charity, and that sounds a whole lot to me like a corporate tip jar.
And it's not because I don't like giving to charity, because I do. But it's because they advertise that they give a certain amount of charitable donations. And most of that is because they have people round up. And so they're not given the money.
Yeah.
We're given the money.
All right. Well, question number 4 can cross that off. Why does Sarah Moore hate charities? Okay.
Oh my God.
Kidding, guys, kidding. That's question 7.
Womp womp. Yeah, obviously. Further down the list.
But yeah, so before we dive in to the expose, as it were, I want to say, so I met Sarah partially by accident. I showed up way too early to an industry party for our common friend Peter.
Yeah.
And it was just myself, our friend Jennifer, and Sarah. And I kind of felt a little out of place. Suddenly, I was like, wait, I am...
What am I doing here?
What am I going to do? And so that particular evening, I put myself to work cutting limes, I think. I ended up behind the bar at the party. And I was absolutely enamored with our dear friend here, and pretty much ever since, you've just been an amazing person to be in orbit around. You do good things, and we're going to talk about some of those good things today. But I wanted to go ahead and let everybody know that I am 100% biased. If people start, like, oh, this is one of those paid promotions. No. Sarah's not giving me any money for this. I just love her because she's awesome. And, that's just like how it is.
I tend to collect people and just like put them in my pocket. And like you are one of my pocket people where I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna pull you out when I've got cool stuff happening. And so like,
It's like a Pokemon, except I can say more than my name.
that's true. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Bryan?
You could just yell your name and that's it.
Bryan! Okay, weird.
How are we doing? Are we nailing this so far?
Yeah.
I feel good.
No,
I feel good.
I'm a little... screaming my own name made me a little verklempt.
It's weird. It feels weird.
It's strange. I don't think I've done that in a long time.
Wow. Well, I'm so glad that we're bringing it back for you.
Breaking new ground. No, okay. So just because I've done a few of the interviews with a gamer, interviews with a designer, interviews with insert random person here.
Yep.
Because I am a list oriented person, I have written down 10 questions in my chicken scratch shorthand.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Should have been a doctor.
No.
Writing wise.
Yeah.
Writing wise should have been a doctor.
Oh yeah, I should be a ghost writer for a doctor. A ghost
Perfect.
penman. Penman? Because it is penmanship, so penman. A penman. Sorry. Now I want to see if there's like an actual like role for someone, who are you? I'm the penman.
I'm the penman.
I'm the penman.
I feel like we can riff on that. We can make that happen later.
I mean, if the Beatles can make the walrus a thing, then
yeah.
Or the Eggman.
We are at least as cool as the Beatles.
I don't know about all that.
Wow.
We're far less British.
That's fair.
Infinitely less British.
Infinitely. 100% less British than the Beatles.
All right. So, question number 1 for the effervescent Sarah Moore. What do you do in the industry? What brings you into the halls of gaming? Why would the Nerd Farm want to find you?
Woof. What a weird... I don't know how to describe this. So let's just try.
Yeah.
So I am a streamer. I was on Gen Con TV for a really long time until it slowly collapsed like a flan in a cupboard. I do a show called Sarah's Table, which is it focuses on RPGs that are small publisher or indie, and there's an emphasis on safety and queer storytelling. I feel like as much as I love D&D, it does not need my help. It does not need anyone's help. It is a juggernaut. So I try to shine that spotlight on folks that aren't maybe getting the press that your D&D would get. Awesome. I'm also a game designer. I co-designed a game called The Crowned, where you get to play a god of a small slice of reality. I play the god of joy when I do that, but also in our party is the god of sandwiches and the god of packaging. So,
what was the last one?
Packaging.
Packaging.
Yeah. Which is dope because sometimes they do divine spells. We call them rotes, where it's like express shipping, and they just like stamp our forehead with a little stamp, and then we just like zip somewhere else, which is pretty
That's
great.
Awesome.
That's all about player agency and player creativity and all of that stuff.
We'll get more into the Crown later. There's a question.
Yes, absolutely. I hope so. Yes. I like talking about it. I also was very heavily involved with the World of Chaldea, of Peter Adkisson's sort of pet project that is on a little bit of a hiatus at the moment. I did some dungeon mastering for them for their live stuff. I'm an actor in some of their things. I've done some writing for them. I wear all of the hats for that particular one. I don't know. I run a lot of games. I play a lot of games. I wear rainbows.
All the times.
A lot. Rainbows and gay hats. That's a crown.
All right. Well, that leads us to question number 2. How did you get started into gaming? I mean, everybody's like, I played D&D when I was a kid, but just how'd you bridge the gap between I am just a gamer into I want to do industry stuff?
I am a fairly tenacious person, and I also am a person who will continually show up till somebody tells me not to. And so I just like never left. I just like met Peter and then was just like, hi, I could do stuff. And then just like I didn't leave. It's also how I got my husband. I just don't ever leave. I'm just like, this is a thing I would like, and then
this is
you
how
can
it
get
is.
rid of me. Yeah. Just like a really nice barnacle, you know, like a barnacle that you enjoy.
I've never heard someone describe themselves as a nice barnacle.
A nice barnacle, you know, like it's not painful. It's just sort of, I am there and I just like stay. I just like, stubborn is not really the right word, because stubborn always has sort of a negative connotation with it.
Yeah.
But like, if it's something that I feel like is important, I just do not give up.
No.
Just like, nope, we're doing this.
Awesome.
And so, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stories of like, oh, and of course it's mine is, my older brother didn't let me play with his friends D&D. And so then I was just like, well, then I'll find my own way.
I'll play one more.
All right, then you can't play with me. That's not true. I've 100% played with him. Anyway, yeah, I think it's like, it's everybody's path of like, I like telling stories and I was tired of not having a seat at the table. So I just like built my own table and was just here we go. I'm going to tell more things. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully it has, I mean, I'm not a great carpenter, so sometimes it's a little wobbly. It's got like wedges of things shoved underneath the legs to keep it.
Some of the best furniture is broken in, weird, doesn't fit into the room, but it is the most comfortable thing that you know. And 100%. I totally get it.
It's the IKEA of the gaming world. Extra parts, always.
Extra parts. Do we need these? Put them in a box. I mean,
this feels important.
I don't know if this is true everywhere else, but I know in every Midwest household that I've ever lived in, been in, there is a drawer, collectively known as the junk drawer.
Junk drawer, yeah.
That will always have a Tupperware or some kind of plastic tub that is just filled with random hardware.
Yes.
And you'll be like, there are 7 of the same axle wrench. Be like, well, yeah, because...
What if I needed that particular one?
Yeah, and what if we have multiple people working on the same project? I've got extras.
Important. Yeah.
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 No,
Welcome to the Midwest, everybody.
Yep, there you go. That's very condensed, extremely stereotyped, but the junk drawer full of random wrenches for friends in case they need them.
I love it. I wouldn't want anyone to feel left out.
No, exactly. Even if you're just going to stand there, hold the Allen key, just standing there and be like, I'm here helping, you know?
Yeah.
I
was just like, up until recently, I think I had an Allen key sitting on top of my bookshelf over here, and I was going to grab it, but I actually tidied. Is it? No, I don't have it right now.
Of course not. Of course not. I didn't, and you know, to give you guys a clue that this is all, you know, I didn't prime her for these questions because that means she didn't have the Allen key just sitting around waiting.
I would have gotten it. Yeah.
It would have been like, and oh, by the way.
You want other weird stuff? I have so many other weird things.
You know what? When we get down to one of the other questions, maybe I can't wait. You might produce one of your weird stuffs. Speaking of weird stuff, good segment. You have played a ton of small games, different games through Sarah's Table and not.
That's true.
And this might be one of those pick your favorite kid. Do you have a whether it's a current favorite or something that like you go, I think everybody should try this at least once, and why is that?
Okay, this is maybe because I'm bisexual, but I cannot just pick one. So we're gonna pick 2.
That's fine. We can do. We got time.
We're gonna do 2. So I think one of them is a Grant Howitt one page. I know that he has like 100 or something insane because he's just the most prolific person, gaming wise, that I have ever met. But I think that they foster so much creativity in how you are playing your game, because the rules are simple enough that they just like do not get in the way. It was a friend's birthday. His favorite movie franchise is The Fast and the Furious. Grant Howitt has a one page called Too Rapid, Too Righteous. And you do not roll dice. You literally roll Matchbox cars, and you are trying to get onto certain pieces of, people can put obstacles out, and you can have to go over rules. I don't know that I have ever laughed as much in my life at a game as trying to do that.
That's fantastic.
It was delightful. It's just so much fun. And then one that I would love to get on the table more often, is only because it's a little bit more complicated, is a game called Household. It is made by an Italian company. I do not remember the name of it. Three Little Mice, perhaps.
Okay.
That sounds right. And you play little tiny like house sprites.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I have seen that, where it's almost like the Borrowers, the role playing game.
Correct. And your entire world is the house, which is called the household. And so any place that you are at, like your tribe is like the kitchen. You are from the kitchen. And so you have, or the sewing room or whatever. There's a full scale naval battle happening in the bathtub. Like, it is really fun. And when I did get to play, my character had a bee as a pet. And scale wise, it was like the size of like a house cat.
Oh, it's great.
Because you're a little tiny creature. And I just kind of love it. I think it is really magical and whimsical in a way that is how I really like to consume my games and my stories, is like, give me something that I cannot do in real life. Like, let's go. Yeah, so that's that. And the team, it's like 3 people. That's the whole team. And I met them at Gen Con last year, and they were just so incredibly like excited and proud of the game, and like didn't really speak a whole lot of English. Only one of them spoke enough English to really feel like they could communicate. And so like, as we were talking, there was a lot of them like rapidly speaking in Italian to each other, and then like trying to translate what I was saying. And like the whole interaction was just like, hey, we love this game and we're jazzed that you're buying it and that you're going to play it. And I was like, yes, me too. Like, let's go.
That sounds perfect.
Yeah. So that is one. Everyone go buy it. Go support them. They just put out a new one that is an extension of the game that is in the garden, where you get to be like outside little garden.
Like little
sprites.
gnomey dudes. I kind of low-key love that. I wrote an adventure for the Dungeon of Box guys years ago that was, the first paragraph is, "The witch has shrunk you."
I love it.
So like that's the whole premise is you take your regular characters and you throw them in. It's the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, it's Fern Gully. You know? Yeah.
And I love that concept. And anytime that you can take something not mundane, but like things that we view, like your bee the size of a dog, you know, you can make it into that new feel and that new concept, and then you take that up a notch, and you go. I don't remember what movie it is, but they run into a rat, and it's the most. It's like a dragon, you know, like it's the most terrifying
because it's enormous.
Because it's enormous, and I think rats are adorable. Like even like horrible steal your wallet New York City rats are still in their own way this kind of cute little critter until they're the size of a house, and then. Oh wow! Yeah, no, that's awful.
That's pretty scary. No, those teeth are bad. I'm not interested in being close to them. Yes.
Yeah. No, I'm against it. And so that's so that's the kind of thing that I think good game designers that are looking to break new ground, like you mentioned, you know, like you can do D&D in a lot of places, and there's different brands and different styles and different engines and all that, and that's fine. They all have their cool place and they all have their way to do things. But when something does break the mold and goes, okay, cool. We're all super tiny.
Yeah.
You know,
What are you going to do now?
yeah.
How do you get places?
And it's a nice way of, you know, I would think most people live in a house that like, or in a place that has, if I could take a minute and stop and go, how weird would my living room be if I was 4 inches tall?
Really weird.
Yeah, yeah.
It is not. You are specifically putting yourself into an environment that was not built for you.
Yeah,
And like, how do you navigate that? Horrifying.
absolutely. Honestly, I would love to do not Toy Story, but like something in that vein where, you know, everyone is action figure sized. Do you remember the movie Small Soldiers?
I do.
I did. I mean, something along those lines, like the Small
Oh no,
Soldiers.
do we have to
role-playing
play
game.
a game together? Oh no.
I know, huh? God.
It's gonna be awful.
Speaking of games,
Yeah,
because again, we can just sit here and pontificate all day long.
I know.
You mentioned a little bit about The Crown.
Yes.
It had a successful Kickstarter. It has now gone out to fans and readers, and
It's in the world.
Into the world.
I have a copy right here.
Oh, and look at that! Look how pretty that is.
It's so pretty. It is color-wise incredibly queer. Just so gay. By choice. But like it is a 200 page. We don't do anything small. It is a 200 page full color, fully illustrated book. We had one artist through the whole thing.
And that was Tanel, wasn't it?
Tanel Levitt, yes. Yeah. She is very tired. Because there's just packed full of art. Yeah, real small team. My co-designer Damon Van He and I designed it. He did all of the writing. Tanel did all of the art. We had one editor, and then we had one layout artist, and that was our whole team. I mean, we did the content sensitivity readers. We sent all that stuff out to make sure that everything was good. We had somebody help with the character sheets, but like it was mostly just the little of us. We worked on it for 7 years.
Wow.
It is finally, in one way or another, it was a 7-year process, and then it came out, and now people can play it, and that's wildly exciting.
Are you guys going to be running any of it at Gen Con?
I have one game at Gen Con that I am running. There is only one seat left at the table. That's all that's
Wow.
left.
All right. So, nerds,
Get out there.
nerds, if you're going to Gen Con, go grab that last seat. And then jump into the comments and be like, haha, I got it.
Yeah, we love a gloat. Please gloat about getting
in
the
this
last
case,
seat.
please brag. Normally, I'm all like, humble is where it's at. But in this case, grab that last seat and be like, I am the one that got it. Ha ha ha.
I did it. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's obviously I'm a little biased, but I really love the game. It has, because it is so much about player creativity. It has the potential for it to be like as dark or as cheery as you'd like. It can be lighthearted and silly. I have run games where you are babysitting, a group of gods are babysitting a baby who has just been granted the mantle of godhood. She was the god of ladybugs, and she kept exploding into ladybugs. So you just kept like, and then she would like fly in the wall and reform. And then you've got a baby you're supposed to be taking care of that is just like floating above the house.
I kind of want to jump into one of your games, but because most of your, like, you got a packaging, the god of cheesecake, what was it? Cooking?
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches.
Yeah.
I would love to make like the legit, the all black and steel and chains and the dark sinister, and insert that edgelord seriousness and be like, The god of what? You know, like
Yeah, yeah,
I love the idea that pantheons. So the Book American Gods is one of my favorites,
yeah. We
and
we were heavily influenced by that.
many moons ago, lots very God, it was a long time ago. I was in a one shot live action game, a LARP, if you will.
We love a LARP.
It was kind of an American Gods LARP where there was like groups of 5 or 6 of us of different pantheons, and I got to play Loki in that particular.
Oh, fun!
Yeah.
We love a trickster.
And it was very well done, and it was very cool because the people who put it on, we were all precast. Like they basically reached out to us and be like, all right, here are you and your 5 other Pantheon friends.
Yeah.
Get together, talk stuff over. You know, this is who you're playing.
Figure it out.
Yeah, and it was so neat seeing some of the more obscure, in the Roman mythology, there are gods for literally everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I love the idea that your game can support that. That you can absolutely be like, nope, you want to be the god of doorways? Rock and roll, you're the god of doorways.
God of doorways. We had a game, because when we were doing a lot of playtesting, taking it to places, building a god is a very fun process, but it's also could be, if you wanted it to be, like a very long process. And because there's a lot of things that you can choose and customize and all that stuff. So we came up with like a stable of 10 gods that are already built. And like, if we're going to run a game and we don't feel like we have the time to devote to building said gods, then we'll just like, here's some options. And one of them is the god of vending machines. And one of the first people that played it said, well, I mean, a cannon is just a vending machine for cannonballs.
It's just a delivery method.
And we were like, you're not wrong. Like you put something in and then something else comes out. Okay. And so that is the kind of thing that you can sort of like
very cool
do in this game. Well, a wonderful story is in an early playtest. This whole group they were driving in a car because it is modern times. You can have all of those things.
Yeah.
And it was in a part of time where like the road had crumbled to dust. There was just like nothing. And it was really rough and they were trying to get through everything. And they were like, well, I'm not the god of cars. I'm not the god of, roads, but I am the god of municipal laws. So I would like to do a divine spell, a rote, that brings the road underneath my car up to code.
So not perfect, but it gets you there.
Up to code underneath the car. And so like it was just there. And so it was just like coming up to code and then crumbling to dust again behind them. And that's sort excellent. Of, that's if you have, and granted, it is a little bit of a heavier lift on the storyteller than some other games because your players can do anything. You
have to be ready to think outside the box.
Correct. But like that is the kind of like wacky shenanigans that you can get into. And it can go if you want an edgier game, like it's absolutely supports that. We have a section in our book called The Crowned After Dark, and that is all the rules for like using mortals as like batteries. And there's sacrifice rules and there's, just like more body horror kind of gross things if you want, because when you deal with gods, that is a thing that could happen.
We watched with Connor the other day. We watched, what was it called? It's not Clash of the Titans. Immortals, the early Henry Cavill flick, and or as we deemed it, Weird Hats, the movie. Everybody had a weird helmet or hat, and Connor made a reference of, why has everybody got such goofy headgear? Like, what is the deal?
What's that about?
Yeah. And so we leaned into the fact that, the whole point of all the gods being, kind of larger than life, both physically and sort of everything they do. And we got into the conversation about how Zeus often came down and visited people as animals,
Yep.
and we're like, that was a big deal in a lot of mythology, is that because it got around, because obviously, Hera's not looking for a goose, hooking up with somebody, and
To be fair, no one should be looking for a
I
goose hooking
mean,
up with somebody.
your search engine is your search engine.
That's fair. You know what? We're not going to
We're
kink
not
shame here.
not gonna judge.
I didn't say that.
Not gonna shame, but we are gonna judge.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but we pointed out, we were like, there's all kinds of these instances where the gods turn into animals in order to get around their own proclamations, their own laws, because that
Right.
that makes it okay. And I remember Connor just kind of going, gods are weird, they do
Gods are
weird things,
weird.
and it's like, yeah, and a lot of these stories were written by people that probably also had some weird things going on, and they wanted to be like, if it's okay for the gods, it's obviously okay for me.
I should be okay to do it. Yeah,
I'll buy 2 donkeys, please. Like,
that's right.
yeah, and so I get it, and I
Yeah.
think the Crown. I am very sad that I have not had a chance to play the Crowned.
Well, I mean, we're both going to be at Gen Con. If we can get a table, I could run a private game.
I would love that.
Let's do it.
And I think my schedule at Gen Con this year is not as booth time, yes, but like after hours. I think I have one event that I have to be at.
I love that.
Let's make that happen. And then I will come on here and tell you guys the week after when I do my Gen Con download. I'll tell you about my edgelord black metal, my god of screamo.
Yeah,
So-
it's really interesting because when you are the god of something, you are sort of also the god of the absence of it because you can control it. And so
okay.
you can also make somebody not have it. Like I played the God of Joy and I was like, it's so great. I can make everybody feel happy. And my Damon, my storyteller at the time, was like, or you could make sure nobody's ever happy again.
Withdraw it from
You're in
them.
charge of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And there's absolutely times that has come up in game where it's been like somebody has been like so excited that they couldn't focus, and I like siphon some of it off, like shh.
Calm thyself.
Yeah.
So, speaking of conventions,
Yay!
you do a lot of them. And
I do.
And have done quite a few.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite convention and a story that might link to that?
Ooh. I mean, yes. Let's see. Let's cycle through them and see which is the best one. I think my favorite convention is GaryCon. I recognize the importance of Gen Con. I understand how networking is good down there and all that stuff, but it is enormous. There's 75,000 people last year, and it's overwhelming for anyone, even an extrovert such as myself. But GaryCon, to me, feels like I'm just meeting up with some friends and we're playing games like that. It feels very cozy, and like comfortable in a way that I don't necessarily always feel like I have to be 100% like, this is my professional face. Like I can be actual Sarah instead of professional Sarah there, which is nice. Honestly, I think I played in a game with Jason Charles Miller, who is a dear friend and an incredible person and super talented. And he messaged me like 2 days before GaryCon and was just like, hey, would you come and play in this game? I'm doing a new game and I want to make sure that like I have somebody at the table that I am comfortable with and that we can sort of talk about it afterwards, all that stuff. I was like, great. I show up and it's a gladiatorial situation where you're all level 20 and you are fighting each other. And I made an Owlin rogue. And I was super adorable, and I convinced the table that they should protect me, and then I murdered them all. And it was just so delightful. Like it was just really fun. And yeah, and like afterwards we met up for we had breakfast the next morning. And he was like, was it okay?" And I was like, "I had a great time. I don't know if anybody else did. I killed everybody, but that was the point.
Yeah.
We were supposed to." Yeah, it was super fun. And that for all of those, I think it's called the Dome of Doom.
Okay.
He still runs it at every convention that he goes to. I believe he is running it at Gen Con. So go
Awesome.
play with JCM.
Awesome.
He's great.
We mentioned Sarah's table earlier,
He did.
and I've been on Sarah's table a couple times, a couple, two,
Yes.
three, and
Intrigue.
it is an interesting take on, because I don't think, as far as I know, have you ever run the same thing twice? Or maybe a part one, part two kind of thing, but like you don't, never a recurring. And this week we're back to ice crab truckers again. Like
No. I mean, I've done a couple of different arcs of the Crowns, but
okay.
I feel like I'm allowed to do that.
I was gonna say, I was like, your home brand. That
Yeah, that one
makes
feels.
sense.
But it's not the same story arc with the same people or anything. It's
Gotcha.
always a new, like, hey, we're promoting this new thing that we're doing. Yeah, last year I ran 37 systems
That's awesome.
on the show. My brain gets very muddy by the end of it. It's very difficult. But yeah, I just try to, I mean, like, there are so many cool games that people have worked super hard on, and like you don't see them.
Yeah.
And something that has been very cool for me is that because I have been doing this, I've gotten to know a lot of indie game designers. And so it's been very cool. Like when Grant Howlett was putting out Eat the Reich, I was just like, "Hey, I hear you got a cool vampire game coming out." And he was like, "Oh yeah, here." And so I had a very like beta, like the system, the version I got was like see page XXX kind of stage,
Yeah.
and some had all of the art and some pages were just like text, like not even really laid out. So it's been really cool to be able to like get in at really alpha or beta versions. I played a game recently that when I played it, it was called Golden Good Girls because it is about elderly animals at Shady Pines Veterinary Clinic.
Oh no.
Nobody dies. We're good.
Okay.
Nobody's going over the Rainbow Bridge, but it
Okay.
is the Golden Girls, but as animals.
Oh.
Golden Good Girls. But in the process of me playing it, they changed the name of it to the Goodest Girls. And
Also
so
still
like
good.
also excellent. It's just such a like a fun, like I've gotten to see the evolution of these games and the games of the designers and how they have evolved as they like this was their first game and now they're on their fifth game, and it's just like you can see their progression of how they have evolved as a game designer. I love seeing that stuff. I'm a big nerd about that stuff.
That's
And
awesome.
in general.
How do you,
Just a big nerd.
apart from knowing several of these people because you are well versed in the social arts, how do you find some of the more obscure, or do they find you? Do they seek you out and go, I want to be on Sarah's table with 9mm cheesecakes.
Yeah, I
.com.
want that. I would like, who has those? Give me those. Yeah, it's sort of a combination. Because I do so much on socials, for my brand. And that's one of the things that I did for Peter for World of Chaldea was I was on socials and online a lot. And people are always talking about their game that they're passionate about. It's regardless of the state that it's in, they're just like, I have this idea and I'm making a thing. And the amount of times that I've just been like, that sounds cool. Can I play it? Is like, people are like, really? Like, yeah, man, this sounds dope. Trash animals who solve Mysteries? Yes, give that to me. That's what I want. That is a game called Psychic Trash Detectives, by the way.
Are you all raccoons or
Well,
like possums
possums,
and
pigeons, any animal that would be considered scavenger trash animal. And then
excellent.
yeah, you divine the solution to the problem through your trash.
All right. I dig it.
I love it. It was fun. It's dumb. And that's the thing is most of the games that I come across is like somebody's like, I had this weird dumb idea. No one's gonna like it. And I'm like, they are. They are gonna like it. And so I do a lot of reaching out. And it turns out that a lot of times it's not the only game that they have made.
Yeah.
You know, and so once you find somebody who you're like, oh man, this is dope, like then I also have found that I have people who send me games that they have heard about because they're like, this feels like you.
This seems like something you'd like. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a game called Perils and Princesses or Princesses in Peril. I don't remember which one it is.
Okay.
I never remember. It's PNP. And you play a princess, but like a kick-ass princess, like a very capable, like I
Like a
do not
Shrek
need
2 princess montage princess.
correct.
Okay.
You are fully realized Fiona. And when that game kickstarted, I got sent it 6 times from different people.
People that are like, no, this is definitely up your.
They were just like, "Have you seen this yet? Have you seen this, Sarah? You need to do this." And I contacted the person who is making it, who made it, and got it on the show. It was very fun. I had princesses fight a bunch of spiders, giant spiders. They were wonderful. And I actually just got a message from the creator that was like, "Hey, I'm going to be at Gen Con. Are you free at this time? I'd love to have you sit in at a table."
that'd
And
be
so
great.
like, yeah, it's super cool. Like you just like find stuff, and I have tried so hard to make my table a place where you would want to come back. I want you to feel safe. I want you to feel comfortable. It is important that you leave being like, man, I would like to do that again. And so I think that showing excitement for someone's game who they are clearly excited about,
Yeah.
like I think that is such an important part of it. I'm jazzed about telling stories. So that's, I think, hopefully comes across in whatever I do.
Well, speaking of things that you do and tell stories,
I'm so good at transitions.
you are excellent. Chef's kiss. You have done a bunch of acting and role playing on camera.
I have.
Many a movie and film clip and stage show and short and whatnot. We don't need to go into all of the various things that you've done, but what is it about being in front of the camera? Because you've also been behind the camera. I mean, I know that you've definitely been in the wings of things. But like when it's when you're in front of the camera, what is your personal goal? I mean, obviously, if it's a paid gig, sometimes that goal has been kind of semi filled out for you. But like, I know when I do stage and camera stuff, role playing involved. I have a niche that I like to try and like. I go into that project going, okay, this is what I want to do. Do you have an overall like an overarching goal that you're like, no, this is what I want to make sure I bring to this table?
Well, I have found that people like to cast me because I do cry on camera. I can cry. I feel comfortable crying on camera.
Okay.
I end up there kind of a lot. So if it's like a heavier storyline, we're gonna kill you off or kill someone that's important to you off. It's gonna be a thing.
You can do the waterworks.
Yeah. It's just been, I've sort of always, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a crier anyway. Like, I could do, I'm maybe moments away from it now, just in general, in my life. That makes it sound sad, but I'm having a great time. I do that a lot. That has been a specific request several, in several arcs that I've done. I also can play a child easily. My voice goes up, and I can be small. That's also a thing. That is, get those two together, man. Crying child.
Yeah, crying child.
What's up?
Guess what? I got a role for you. Yeah.
But in general, I think I am always looking for moving the story along in an interesting way. I do a lot of failing forward. I think that failure is very interesting. I think that it is far more interesting in a story than success. So I am always sort of interested in how that works out. And truthfully, I oftentimes just try to make the story more gay.
Okay. Fair enough.
Let's queer it up a little bit. How can we
in certain avenues of our industry, it is absolutely there is a lack of that kind of representation, and I think that especially in the last 5 years, we'll say, the audience has definitely shifted dramatically. That there's definitely a need. So
the Venn diagram of queer people and people who like D&D
has
a circle
has really come together a great deal. Yeah. I have this wonderful and this is a preview clip because we filmed it, but we have not released it yet. But there's an arc where I play a mimic, and my girlfriend, we broke the DM a little bit because he sent an NPC in to talk to me. I sleep as a mimic. I sleep as a treasure chest. Okay,
it's safe that way.
Traditional, yeah, feels nice.
And we broke our DM because he sent an NPC in to talk to us, and he knocked on my lid to wake me up, and my girlfriend opened it and was like, what's up? What do you need? And it just he was like, bleh.
Stunned.
I don't know what to say. What? I'm so confused. Yeah.
Awesome.
Get it up.
We
can just clip that little part, and that can be the thing. It can just the gay it up part can be the little clip
to bumper sticker. So you have mentioned, you briefly mentioned it earlier, and you've told me about it. I want other people to know. So I just recently, in the last 3 months, started a Patreon of my own. It's cute. It's fun. It's a way for me to throw ideas that have been sitting on my computer that need to find a home out in the world. But I know you are devoting a lot more time and energy and effort to yours. So obviously, we're in the description of the video. When this goes out, we will put all of the links and the things, or all the places where they can find you.
Cool.
But for those people who are watching and maybe I want to be involved with Sarah Moore and the Patreon involved.
Yeah, I love that. They should.
What kind of stuff are they going to find there? What are you doing with it that I'm going to do that? What makes your Patreons?
What makes yours different? I have a lot of weird things that happen inside my brain. Just it's a weird tangle of stuff up there, and so I have a couple of different things, a couple of different tiers. If you want to come and sit at my table, there's a tier for that where you get a monthly game. And it's not going to be D&D. It's going to be something weird, probably. Some weird. I next to me is a giant, IKEA 4x3 cube storage that is just full of non-D&D books for games. So there's going to be something, that happens over there. I also have a tier where I'm a big reader. I read a lot. Currently, my to be read pile is a like a library turning
Oh,
shelf,
wow.
circular shelf that has like over 100 books on it because I just like read and read and read. It's just a thing that I have always done. And I have a lot of opinions about the things that I read. And so one of them is me talking about everything that each book that I have read and how I found it and then what my thoughts were. And it's not like an in-depth analysis
Like
of,
Sarah's book club.
yeah, it is book club stuff. It's not like 2 hours of like, and these are the plot holes that I found. No, one of the most recent ones I read, which I'm getting ready to release the thing on it, was given to me by my oldest because it was one of those warrior cat books that he was super into when he was
Yeah.
like 12, and it's his copy. And when I was reading it, it's annotated. He made notes in it
Oh,
when
that's
he was reading
great.
it at 12 and had forgotten that he had done that. And so when I brought it up to him, he was like, I did? What did I say? And so like, these are the kind of things that I'm going to
Yeah.
talk about. It's that kind of thing. And they're not all going to be winners. And I kind of love that. It's
So
just like
sometimes
that's a thing.
sometimes doing a review over something that was unentertaining, the review is entertaining.
Yeah. Yeah.
How many bad movies have we gotten hours of enjoyment of?
So many entertaining moments. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah,
there's a silver lining in just about everything.
for sure. And then I also have a tier, which is a low tier, which is kind of like, just give me $5 a month. I would really love your support, kind of a thing. And it's got like legacy content that I have made that doesn't have a place on the internet anymore. And like I've done podcasts before and it's gone now. There's no place else for it.
Yeah.
And I have copies of it, and so I'm putting that sort of thing out.
Okay.
Old episodes that don't really have a place before I had gone on Gen Con TV, like that's all in the legacy stuff. And then I also just talk a lot. You know, I just
People want to listen to your words.
just want to say stuff, and so I just kind of do a lot of that. Yeah, but I've been having a really good time with it. For some reason, it was very intimidating to me to get it started. I don't know why. I mean, imposter syndrome, I'm sure.
I feel you. It was filling the thing out and being like, all right, so how do I tell people
How
that?
do I do this?
Yeah, like, do you want to see stuff from me? Like it's weird. It's weird. I hats off if my hair wasn't horrible right now. Hats off to the people who can do things like straight up like OnlyFans and the like,
It's
because
very impressive.
I had a hard time putting together a Patreon, doing the whole. Why would anyone want to actually interact with me on a site that isn't my YouTube show or something
Yeah,
like that? Like there's
that is
already
it.
all
That is
these
a
other
paid
ways. Here's an
site. Yeah,
additional doorway to unlock. How is that
yeah.
a thing? But I will say this: it's been super cool. And how long have yours been up so far?
Oh, I launched it on the 16th of June.
Okay, yeah. See, I've only had mine for a couple of months, and the interactions I've had with some people have been really good.
Yeah, it was
And
very cool
it's
to have.
interesting. Yeah,
My first couple of patrons were people I didn't know. I was expecting like a couple of like, let me grab the $5 tier from friends who are like, I would like to support you. But
yeah.
like to have the first couple of ones that came in be like, I don't know that name. It's
It's a
really
good
cool.
feeling. It's a good
Yeah.
feeling. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, I have at the beginning of the year, and it took me, until June, half the year to do it, but I set goals for myself. One of them was to launch my Patreon, and I literally have it right here. I got little individual bottles of Moscato, and I tied
What?
my goals around them.
All right.
And then when I did it, I drank the little bottle. It was
That
like
was your little.
one of those little wine bottles.
That was your
that are like
treat.
this. That was my treat. And yeah, my partner is incredibly supportive, and when I was getting ready to launch it, he went and he put that one in the fridge, and then was like, "Here we go, we're doing it."
Awesome.
And then we did it, and he made a fancy drink out of it. I've been really enjoying Hugo 75s recently.
I don't even know what that is.
It's gin and a sparkling wine of some kind, and mint and elderflower liqueur, and it's tasty.
And you've been enjoying them a great. What's a Hugo 75?
Hugo 75. Everybody go drink it. I mean,
if you
are old enough,
YouTube gods that are listening, if you are of age and responsible,
if you are of age, although I bet you could make a mocktail version of it that would still be delicious.
Hugo 17.
70, yeah. So yeah.
Hugo,
19.
not quite 21.
That's right.
So we're coming down to the last couple of questions. They're a little more open ended. What are you looking forward to? Like, I don't want to be like 5 years from now. Just like the kind of what are you personally looking forward to in the industry? Like, what do you hope to plant your big gay flag on in the future?
Yeah.
Like that's the big picture stuff.
Big picture stuff. So one of the things that I really emphasize at all of my tables is safety and comfort. You need to be able to feel comfortable being vulnerable. And that doesn't necessarily mean like it's going to be a big, heavy story where everybody's going to be crying. Like, there's a lot of people who feel comfortable being silly in front of somebody because they're worried of how they're going to come off. And I really want there to be more of a culture of safety and security at the table so that when you're coming in with strangers, that you know that you're going to be able to be in a place where somebody's not going to tear you down because you made a choice and we're silly. And I'm not sure how we get there, but I do know that we're starting the shift of making sure that people are doing those safety discussions, maybe even doing them on camera.
Yeah.
So that it's normalized and people are comfortable doing it. If you don't make a big deal out of it, it's not a big deal, and like, I think that, I would love for it to be really commonplace. And it's something that we worked really hard for in Actoroki on Gen Con TV, as I just insisted on doing an on-camera safety talk every time. And then like Peter adopted it for all of his Actoroki people as well. Any other DMs that he had, he was just like, yeah, let's do that. I've had more people reach out to me who I have gamed with in the past who are like, what's your safety discussion? How do you get there? Because it seems really comfortable when you do it. And it's just because I've done it so many times that it is rote now. It's not, if the person giving the safety discussion is awkward about it, it becomes more awkward at the table. And it's not, we don't want that. We don't want to start your comfortable talk. Yeah,
absolutely.
So,
every convention game that I run, I always give the players a little folder packet that's got scratch paper and their character sheet and all the stuff they get to take home, but it also has Monty Cook's checklist is amazing.
Yeah, it's a wonderful checklist.
And I've probably at this point used it, I'll say 50 times, and that's probably on the shy side.
Conservative, yeah.
I don't like to use that word. It's on the.
I understand.
Yeah. It's on the shy side of that number, and I think of all of the people who I've ever handed it to, the closest thing I've ever had to someone go, "What's this? Why do we need this?" has been literally someone looking at it and go, I'm cool with everything. And then I look at them and go, okay, cool. Then just do me a favor and just line through all the green stuff.
Say you're cool with everything.
Yeah, it just takes 2 seconds. And none of them have ever as long as we as game masters and table representatives and things don't be like, all right, now I know this is a chore. Like, as
Right.
long as you just, it's part of the speech. You know,
Yeah.
when you teach somebody how to play, you teach them what their dice do. You teach them, there's going to be this level of X amount of stuff. If you just make it part of your conversation, part of your introduction at the table,
Yeah.
I'm Brian, I'll be your GM today, then they've got nowhere to go. And honestly, if that's the thing that sends them fleeing your table,
Then we do
then
not
it
want
probably
you at
wouldn't have
our
been a great time
table.
anyway,
Yeah.
because again, it's not like I'm saying by checking this off, you're not allowed to have this in your games, or I'm just saying that I need to know
Today, I
for
need
right
to
now,
know.
for the next 4 hours. I want to make
Correct.
sure that, because I've had some weird things on there, things that
Yeah.
guess what? I'm not drowning any pets. It's not happening.
Yeah. Not gonna do
And
it.
I had someone write that very specifically on there. They're like, no pets or companions can drown,
Yeah.
and the huge red X. And after the game, I was just like, I don't know what happened, but whatever it was, I'm very sorry, because I
Yeah.
understand pets are a big deal. And the guy was like, yeah, he's like, a year from now, I might not write that. He's like, but it was something that literally
But
happened
right now,
like 30 days ago, and I can't
yeah.
I can't deal with that. And I'm like, awesome. And it's like you said, it's, if it becomes normal at the table and it becomes what, the whole point. I mean, everybody who's watched this video or any of my videos, that my whole point of everything here is so people have fun at the table.
Correct.
And if your table has different rules of fun, I don't care. At this table, we're gonna try and make sure that everybody has the best time that they can. And if there's an
Yeah.
obstacle, I need to be aware. It might
Yeah.
not
I do
have,
not want to, I don't want to wander into territory that I didn't
yeah,
know was a problem because I didn't ask.
because I was not aware. And it also, not to be like, in this day and age, it also protects me as someone who it could possibly being paid to be there.
Yes.
I don't want that player to be like, I had a miserable time, 1-star review because
Right.
you did all these things that I hate. Because then I can go, well, yeah, but I asked you if this
I
was going to
did
be a
check.
problem. Yeah,
I
like this.
checked and yeah.
Yeah, it's good for everybody involved,
Absolutely.
to try and foster that sort of mentality. And even if it is just a speed bump at the beginning of the session, it's there's no harm in it at all.
Yeah.
At all. No
That's
one's
yeah.
no one's feelings
It's
are going to be hurt if
only
you're
gonna be
asking.
good for you.
It's only on the positive.
Well, and I also think even in long-term groups that you have been playing with for a long time, things change.
Yeah.
And maybe, like I, no genocide right now.
Maybe that's a thing.
I can't do that. No plagues. I can't do plagues right now. Maybe you had a family member that was just diagnosed with cancer. Like I do not no wasting illnesses, please. That's like I can't do it. It will take me out of the game and my enjoyment. And like that is it is a game.
Yeah.
And so we want everyone to really enjoy. And that doesn't mean that all we're doing is laughing. It does mean that we're not making somebody uncomfortable to the point of
Yeah.
not wanting to come back.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Again, claps.
Safety. More claps.
More clapping. And then, so the final question. It's not so much of a question as it is kind of a prompt for you. Give what would be, as we're closing out this interview with the electrifying Sarah Moore, trying to get as many E words as I can in there.
It's a lot. He's good.
What would be some final words that you would like to give to the Nerd Farm out there?
I think something that I have been trying to do in 2025 is foster connection. Being an adult is stupid and hard. The state of the country / world right now is a dumpster fire of epic proportions. And we all need each other. And I think that it is very easy to sort of hermit and close the door to your hobbit hole and just like not go anywhere. But humans are social creatures and we need interaction in a way that I think a lot of us, especially as adults with the world on our shoulders, don't acknowledge even to ourselves. And so I know that this is outside of the gaming world or the even the nerd world because it's
That's
more
fine.
universal than that. But I really think foster relationships that are important to you because that is what is ultimately going to get us through whatever tremendous things are happening around us. Your little circle of weirdos is more important to you than you might think. So, like, call somebody that you love
Yeah.
right now. I'll wait. Go ahead. Yeah, just call somebody. I mean, I've been trying this whole year to just be in like, just like messaging folk who are local to me, and just being like, "Do you want to get coffee?" And like, I always come back so recharged from that. And if they're farther away, set up a video call, set up a phone call. Like, we need people. Spread the love.
Hell yeah. Those are
Yeah.
good ending words. And
Dang.
so obviously I'm going to put all of Sarah's socials and things and links and stuff in the description of the video. But for the people who sometimes are not fast on the link, or maybe they're on their phone and they're listening, where can they find you if they want to find you and make that connection with you?
Yeah, I am pixies and pins everywhere. Any platform that I am on, I am pixies and pins.
Which leads me to believe that the PNP role-playing game that you were talking about earlier,
Really good.
why that leaned at you to begin with.
It just keeps happening.
Just,
Can I tell the story of why it's pixies and pins?
yeah, absolutely.
Because any problem can be solved with pixie dust and safety pins. It is a little bit of magic and a little bit of practicality.
I love it. I've known you for many, many, many years now, and I never knew that.
I mean, we
Learn,
got to keep learning.
learn something new every day.
So we did this reach out thing, and those
See?
are the things.
Clapping. And clapping.
Yay!
Well, Sarah, thank you so much for coming on and sharing us some time and some wisdom and some fun things. I hope the viewers reach out to you and make those connections. I hope the Patreon goes well. And obviously, I'll see you at Gen Con, possibly to maybe play some Crowned. That would be pretty rad. For you who are watching the video, stay on because I've got... You'll see me again here in like 2 seconds. I might look different, but it'll still be me. I promise.
Magic of editing.
Magic of editing. Until then, thank you so much, and we'll see you guys in a minute.
Bye.
Finger guns, finger guns.
Pew 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 pew.
All right, everybody. That was the amazing, wonderful, fabulous, beautiful Sarah Moore. Friend of mine, friend to the industry, and just a generally all-around good person. So please follow all the socials that she has mentioned in the video, or go to the description of this video to find various ways to get in touch. She's way too cool to not really be on all of your guys' radar. Now that we've done that, we'll go back and do the week in Bryan. Relatively quick because I've been super busy. Just busy. Not a lot of stuff going on. So last week, personal wise, I am Still kind of struggling with my back a little bit after my Origins injury. So it's been kind of a slow week at the gym this week, but I still feel like I'm doing good stuff. That I'm getting there. I'm still going, even if I'm not pushing myself like I probably ought to. I'm taking it easy and trying to make sure that this is fully healed, so I don't actually hurt myself, especially before going into like Gen Con. Let's see, anything else? Personal life? No, not really. I work a lot and game occasionally. Speaking of gaming, so last week I did get to play in the my friend's playtest game where I play an Elven Archer. We're getting to see a lot more of his world and experiment with some new creatures. A lot of stuff from Strange Hollow. We get to be in the game and take a look at. So I'm excited to see where that will head as far as the storyline progresses, and get to see some hopefully more new cool stuff that I haven't seen at the table, and find out whether or not it is fair to be submitting us to such things. Gaming wise, that's pretty much it. I have not done much of anything else. I was going to get a Warzone game in with some playtest materials, but some real life got in the way, and it did not happen, sadly. Also, I planned on getting my son to sit down and play another game of the Token Terrors with us, or with me, and that also didn't happen. It's just, it's been kind of hectic lately, to say the least. Hobby-wise, did some 3D printing for a commission client, made some minis ready to paint. They're primed and ready to go. I have not put any paint on them, and I am down to probably the last little bit of sculpting on my Gamehole charity piece. Once that last little bit of sculpting gets done, I can terrain the bottom, do the sand flock and whatever, and then get it primed, and then think about starting to paint it. I'm excited. I think that it's going to be a fun journey to create that object, that piece. I only hope that it turns out well enough that it makes some money for the charity. Yeah, work stuff. A lot. I put the wraps on the initial delivery of a card game for a client that they said initially they've got some questions, but overall they like what they saw. We have a meeting next week to discuss some of the ins and outs to see if there's anything I need to kind of put the polish on before we really dive into playtesting. I got a couple of really good reviews on my most recent Shadowrun novel that just came out in ebook and will be coming out in physical books in the next month or so. People seem to like it, and I think that it's a good book. So, I mean, obviously I'm biased, but I think that it's a solid book, and people should take a look at it. The book is called Night Court by Catalyst Game Labs in the Shadowrun universe. Night spelled with a K, like Sword and Shield, not night as in evening. Yeah. Still working. I got, I've made a ton of monsters for the Infinite Stories project, the Wildkin, the Monster Trainers book. Yeah, no, I've just been very busy, very, very busy. Had a very cool meeting about the future of Intergalactic Heroes. More on that when I can share it. There's some really cool stuff happening over there. The project has changed slightly, a little bit of some tweaking and adjustments to how things are going to be delivered, but overall, just if everything comes together the way that it looks like it's going to, There might be a couple of firsts in it for me. I've been in this industry a long time, but there might still be a couple of firsts ready for me to, check off on the box, because I haven't done those before. A friend reached out to me last week asking if he could use me as a bargaining chip for getting getting hands on a project to make a role-playing game for that. I would absolutely like don't use me as a bargaining chip unless you actually mean to put me on the project. But if that does come together, if that happens, I'll be a very, very happy Bryan. Yeah, no, just very, very cool stuff over there, making that happen. Plugging away on Xeogenesis stuff. In fact, actually, I need to get back to it. I need to do, there are some tweaks and changes to the initial campaign rules that I sent over that need to happen. And I need to put enough polish on the solo rules that when I send them over to the crew, that they make a damn bit of sense. Because as it is right now, they are a lot of shorthand and this and that type notes. I need to put them down so they actually make sense. But yeah, I think I'm in a good place. I've got a lot of work to do, and a lot of the next 2 or 3 weeks, I've got a bunch of kind of little mini deadlines that I've got to hit. So I'm going to be a busy boy. But if everything comes together like I think it will, I should be able to go into Gen Con not completely and utterly stressed out about projects. Which means I'll be able to come back from that convention with maybe new work or some new, open turf for me to work on things again. I really need to get back to the Shadowrun novel. Again, there's only so many hours in a day, and deadlines creep up on you. So we'll make it happen. I know you guys will stick with me the whole way, but I will continue to make cool stuff. Speaking of making cool stuff, Warzone. So Alex and I had a really good meeting last week, kind of post Origins, looking at he is delightfully close to getting those last shipments sent out to the UK and Europe. Get those all palleted up and send those out, which then that will leave us open to start planning for the future. Retail up and running, the next round of releases, and then working out a schedule to figure out how this is going to go going forward. How often are we going to put minis out? How, what's financially and bandwidth feasible? Just a general general planning meeting going forward. We have a little bit of time before the Michigan GT, which is our next convention appearance, and I know that I've got a few boxes I would like to tick before then, but just getting a chance to work on cool things for Warzone is it's always a good, going through playtest reports and data and crunching numbers and be like, is this weapon too good for that, and back and forth. That's fun in its own way, but it is not the same kind of fun. It's not the same level of fun as, say, designing a brand new unit or realizing that the art and the sculpts are coming together on a unit that no one's seen before. That definitely has a different feel to it. Honestly, apart from just kind of the constant grind of working on various projects all at once and seeing stuff come to a head with different projects, I am just a busy Bryan, but a happy Bryan, and for the most part a healthy Bryan. So yeah, I know that it's weird for me to do a weekend Bryan at the end of a video, but I guess we're at that point where I say it was a good week. Looking forward to some stuff that maybe I can share in the future if everything comes together. And for now, I just want you guys to go check out Sarah's socials, and please be safe and wash your hands, get your shots, wear a mask in places where you are asked to or you feel that you have to. Just try and treat people pretty well overall, and leave every room a little happier than when you got there. And I think that hopefully everything will work out. Until next week, have fun, be safe, and play some games. We'll see you in a week. Bye, guys.